Due to copyright, I can't publish many audiobooks on YouTube. At our audiobook novel service, we offer access to over 300 full novels from Pocket FM, Webnovel, Audible, Wuxia, and more, all in high-quality audio format. Each novel is available with a one-time payment only. No subscriptions, no monthly payment, and no ads. Payments via PayPal or Ko-fi. To browse the full list of available novels, message me directly on Telegram or WhatsApp, or check out our full catalog on Discord. Chapter 232-334. Etherheart Fruit. Chapter 232. Chapter 334. Etherheart Fruit. Valira exhales, almost frustrated. I know it's impossible. That's why I'm telling you, it shouldn't have been possible. Not without a tier 6 strength. But it happened. Gressrin leans forward on the bed, his voice lower now. I believe you, but you're not the kind to lie about something like this. Solvin frowns. So what, are we saying he's hiding his tier? No. He's not hiding anything, Valira mutters. He's just... Alex. Gressrin rubs the back of his neck, glancing toward the door. Then let's wait for him. I want to hear it from the guy himself. Valira nods. Yeah. Let's just ask him. Almost like a cue, the door creaks open. Alex enters, quiet and composed. His coat is clean now, though the sleeves are still scorched at the edges. Behind him walks Carnessa. The moment he steps in, the room stills. Gressrin sits up straighter. Solvin blinks and shifts in his bed, more alert now. Valira watches him closely, eyes searching his face like she's still trying to understand what she saw earlier. Alex nods to them once. You're all awake. Good. Valira gives a short nod, not mocking, not forced. Respectful. That was... something else. I don't think we'd be lying here if you hadn't stepped in. Alex gives a faint shrug, his tone calm. Don't mention it. As long as you didn't forget what you told me. Valira's gaze softens. She nods, serious. Of course. Promise is a promise. My clan's now ranked 5th after this victory. That's more than enough. Alex asked. More than enough? For what exactly? Valira breathes in deeply. From rank 1 to rank 5, the Empire grants each clan a Etherheart fruit. It will give 5 years of lifespan to whoever consumes it. My mother, she needs it. She doesn't have long. Alex's eyes widen a little. Oh, there's a fruit that gives you more life? Gressrin glances at Valira, lowering his voice. Wait. Valira, is it okay to tell him that? Alex isn't part of any faction or kingdom under the Empire. This stuff is supposed to be confidential. Valira looks at Alex, then back to Gressrin without hesitation. He won us the match. You saw what he did. I trust him. Alex will keep it to himself. Alex nods once. You have my word. I won't say a thing. But inside, he's already celebrating. So the Empire does have a fruit like that. And it's given to the top 5 clans. That's valuable intel. Solvin exhales. With 5 more years, Madam has more time. That's all she needs to break through the next tier. Gressrin nods. Yeah. She's already at the limit of tier 4. Give her 5 more years and she'll definitely break through to tier 5. Which means, Solvin adds, she gains 50 more years of life. Valira closes her eyes and lets out a breath she's been holding all day. That's why this win mattered so much. It wasn't just about prestige or pride. Alex walks over and leans against the wall, arms crossed. Carnessa yawns behind him, sprawling lazily on a low couch. Her eyes never leave Valira. I'm glad it helped, Alex says. There's a pause. Then Gressrin speaks again, more serious now. Gressrin clears his throat again, glancing at Alex. Say, Alex, if you don't mind me asking, how did you do it? Drawing out the full power of a quasi-tier 6 weapon when you're still tier 4, that shouldn't be possible, right? All eyes shift to Alex. Alex scratches the back of his head, looking almost sheepish. To tell you the truth, I don't really know. He pauses, then adds casually, I've been like this since I was a kid. As long as the weapon's not more than 2 tiers above my actual level, I can use it. Fully. Valira blinks. You mean no backlash? No resistance from the weapon at all? Alex shakes his head. None. It just works. Gressrin whistles low. That's not talent. That's something else entirely. Valira leans forward slightly, her tone thoughtful. You might actually be one of them. A real prodigy. Like the ones from the 3 main continents. Solvin frowns. You mean those freaks of nature? Valira nods. Yeah. Each of these prodigy are peak geniuses, people born with strange gifts or unnatural talents. They say every true prodigy has at least one unique ability. Something that doesn't follow the normal rules. Solvin turns back to Alex, wide-eyed. Wow. And yours is just using any weapon below tier 6 like it's yours? Alex shrugs. I guess. Never really thought too much about it. Carnessa smirks from her corner. My master is really impressive. Valira's expression turns thoughtful, the light from the enchanted windows catching the faint scar on her cheek. Still, we should keep your ability a secret. Alex raises an eyebrow. Why? Because if the Empire finds out, Valira says, her tone grave, they'll do everything in their power to rope you in. Recruit you, collar you, own you, whatever it takes. Prodigy like that? They don't leave it up to choice. Gressrin nods grimly. She's right. No prodigy has ever been born on this small continent. So if the Empire finds out about your existence, they'll go crazy. Alex doesn't look worried. If anything, he looks mildly amused. Noted. I'll keep a low profile. Alex glances at Valira. So what's our next move? Are we heading to stage 3? Valira hesitates. Gressrin and Solvin both look at her, waiting for the call. After a moment of silence, she sighs and shakes her head. No, let's drop out. Alex straightens slightly. You sure? Valira nods, resolute. I already got what I wanted. We reached 5th rank. That's all I needed for the Etherheart fruit. She glances at her 2 teammates. Besides, look at us. We might be standing, but we're not whole. Our bodies are healed, sure, but our cores are still drained. We won't be able to fight again at full strength anytime soon. Solvin leans back with a groan. Yeah, I still feel like I got flattened by a dragon. Gressrin grunts in agreement. Same here. I don't think I could swing my weapon straight right now, even if you paid me. Valira turns back to Alex. You've already done more than we asked for. We'll pull out before we burn out. Alex crosses his arms again, thinking it over. Makes sense. Better to walk away after a win. Valira smiles faintly. Exactly. Solvin stretches, his long limbs cracking. Good. That means more rest time. I like this plan. Alex glances at her, then at the others. All right. Then it's settled. In the afternoon, the gates of the Imperial City loom behind them, sunlight gleaming off the polished stone. The Ashedge clan's carriage rumbles steadily along the main road, flanked by a pair of lightly armed escorts. Velvet curtains are drawn halfway, letting the wind carry in the sounds outside. And the sounds are loud. Cheers. Chants. A flood of waving hands and excited voices echo through the street as they roll by. Children wave flags hastily painted with Ashedge colors. Merchants pause at their stalls to clap. Even nobles from their balconies nod in acknowledgement. Valira peeks out the window and her eyes widen. There's so many of them. Gressrin chuckles from his seat. Looks like we picked up a fanbase. Carnessa said lowly. You mean my master picked up a fanbase? She jerks her chin toward Alex, who's sitting quietly, gaze fixed out the window. Solvin whistles, leaning over to get a better look. Would you look at that? He mutters. When we came here, people laughed at us. Looked down on us. Like we didn't even belong in the same arena. He grins. Now, they're waving us off like we're war heroes. Valira sits back, still dazed. It's kind of surreal. Alex just watches in silence. His face unreadable, but his fingers tap lightly on the window frame. Like he's thinking. Outside the city gates, just beyond the cheering crowds, a lone figure waits near a stone marker by the road. Middle-aged, broad-shouldered, gray streaks in his tied-back hair. Dressed in travel-worn armor with a thick forest-green cloak hanging down his back. His presence is quiet but sharp. Like a blade that's seen 1,000 battles but hasn't dulled once. Valira spots him through the open window and straightens suddenly. Her eyes light up. That's Uncle Hadrick. Gressrin lifts the curtain, squints. You sure? I'm sure, Valira says quickly, already reaching for the door latch. He's my mother's old squadmate. She used to call him a wall that never falls. Chapter 233-235. Ironvale City. Alex leans forward slightly, eyes narrowing. Just for a second, his system flares to life behind his eyes, scanning. Target identified. Hadrick Velmarth. Race. Human. Tier. Middle level, tier 6. Alex blinks once, uninterested. A middle tier, tier 6. Not bad for this continent. The carriage slows to a halt. Valira jumps down first, her voice warm. Uncle. Hadrick smiles faintly as she runs up. Valira. You've grown sharper. His voice is deep, calm. Like someone who doesn't need to raise it to be heard. And taller. Your mother will be proud. Valira grins. We made it to 5th. We got the fruit. I know. He glances past her toward the carriage. And I know who got you there. Alex steps down quietly, Carnessa behind him. Their eyes meet. Hadrick's smile tightens just slightly. Not cold, but calculating. So, you're the boy. Alex returns the look evenly. Alex. Hadrick studies him for a second longer, then suddenly laughs. Loud and hearty, the kind of laugh that echoes across a battlefield. Haha. Good boy. He says, clapping Alex hard on the shoulder. Strong eyes, steady step. I like you already. You've got the feel of someone who doesn't flinch even when death is at his doorstep. Alex doesn't react much to the slap. Doesn't flinch, doesn't smile. He just nods once. Thanks, he says simply. Hadrick turns, glancing at the rest of the group as they file down from the carriage. You all did good. Real good. But let's not pretend the outcome wasn't tilted by this young man here. He gestures toward Alex again, eyes twinkling. The entire Ashedge clan owes you more than words. Solvin smirks. Uncle Hadrick giving someone else praise? That's a first. Gressrin grins. Someone write it down. It's historic. Hadrick waves them off, still smiling. Bye, you kids. When someone saves your name from becoming a footnote in history, you give him the respect he deserves. Especially when he does it with style. He looks back to Alex, voice steadying. From this point until we reach the clan grounds, it'll be your sword and your shield. Anything that comes near us with bad intentions dies before it can speak. Before anyone can respond, a faint humming sound rises in the distance. Low at first, like a song carried by wind. Then it sharpens, growing louder and steadier. Everyone turns. Over the trees ahead, sleek and shining, a small vessel descends from the clouds. Shaped like a boat but clearly meant for the skies, it glides silently through the air before coming to a smooth stop just beside the road. Its hull glows faintly with runic engravings. Gold-trimmed wings fold inward as it lands. The moment it touches down, Valira gasps. No way. Gressrin stumbles a step forward. That's... Solvin blurts, that's one of the clan's aerial boat. Valira nods quickly, awestruck. There's only one back home, and it's kept in the high vault. Gressrin stares at it like it might vanish if he blinks. There's no way they sent that just for us. Even Carnessa, usually calm and aloof, steps closer to get a better look. Her eyes gleam, faintly reflecting the ship's soft glow. It's beautiful. Hadrick chuckles under his breath. Well, like I said, you guys didn't just win a match. You made waves. But Alex only gives the ship a single blank glance. Then he turns away like it's nothing worth mentioning. In his mind, he casually pulls up his system inventory. Inventory. Sky-class Imperial Cruiser, X1. Phantom Lancer Glider, X2. Obsidian Dread Barge, X1. Mirage Veil Skiff, X3. He doesn't say a word. The group boards the flying vessel, its doors opening with a quiet hiss. Hadrick follows behind them, taking the rear. The ship lifts into the air soon after, and with a soft pulse of light it cuts through the sky. Fast, smooth, and silent. Nothing happens during the journey. No ambushes. No beasts. No hidden attacks in the clouds. For 2 full days they glide over forests, hills, and mountain passes without a hitch. They camp once in a guarded watchtower, and the rest of the time they fly. Then on the second evening, just as the sun begins to dip into the horizon, there it is, Hadrick says from the front deck, pointing. Ahead of them, nestled in a valley between towering cliffs, lies a sprawling city of stone and steel. Alex's eyes narrow. The city is enormous, easily 3 times the size of the city they just left. It stretches in all directions, built in layers that rise like steps along the hills. The outer wall alone could crush an army, thick, gleaming with runes, and guarded by dozens of high watchtowers. Gressrin whistles. Home sweet home. Hadrick glances back at them, the wind tugging at his cloak. Welcome to Ironvale, he says. Heart of the Ashedge clan. The ship angles downward. And they descend. As the aerial vessel lowers toward the landing platform outside Ironvale's massive outer gate, they spot horses already waiting at the base. Each mount is groomed to perfection, their armor polished, and cloaks bearing the Ashedge crest fluttering in the wind. Even Carnessa has one, sleek, dark-coated, with eyes like amber glass. Her brows rise slightly. They gave me one, she murmurs. Valira grins. Of course you are also part of the team. Carnessa hesitates, glancing down at the reins in her hand. The horse snorts softly beneath her. After a moment she turns her head slightly toward Valira. Thank you, she says quietly. Valira blinks, a little surprised. Carnessa doesn't speak often, especially not first. But she smiles. You earned it. You fought with us. You bled with us. The clan honors that. The group finishes mounting, Hadrick leading them through the final stretch toward the city gates. The closer they get, the louder the sounds become, cheering drums, horns. As the massive gates swing open, the sight that greets them draws stunned silence from even the most composed. The road is lined with people. Not just guards or soldiers, citizens, families, elders, and children. Everyone has come out. Banners bearing the Ashedge sigil wave proudly from rooftops. Streamers flutter from balconies. Flowers are thrown into the path ahead of them. Someone calls out they've returned, and the cry is picked up by dozens more. Victory! Young Lady Valira has returned. All hail young Lady Valira. Cheers explode from every corner of the entrance plaza. Valira blinks rapidly. I didn't think. Gressrin laughs, clapping her on the back. Of course they're here. You brought back the Etherheart fruit and brought the clan into the top 5. They've been waiting to see you walk through that gate since the rankings were announced. Solvin adds, you just became a living legend, Valira. Better get used to it. As the horses trot slowly into the heart of Ironvale, flanked by a roaring crowd and showered in petals, Alex lets his gaze drift across the tall stone buildings, the towers laced with enchantments, and the people cheering like they've just been saved. He says nothing. Shortly after the procession wins its way through Ironvale's bustling main avenue, the group arrives at a massive estate. More fortress than mansion. Sprawling courtyards stretch to either side, marble pillars rise high, and the banners of the Ashedge clan flutter atop every tower. The central building looms like a palace, its entrance flanked by armored statues and twin waterfalls cascading into glowing stone basins. At the top of the grand staircase, waiting in silence, stands a tall, broad-shouldered man with weathered skin and iron-gray hair slicked neatly back. His cloak is trimmed with crimson silk, his tunic embroidered with the clan's sigil in gold thread. His eyes, sharp, tired, and unwavering, are fixed directly on Valira. Valira spots him the moment they reach the base of the steps. Her breath catches. "Father." She slides off her horse before it even comes to a full stop and runs, armor-clinking boots thudding softly against stone. The man doesn't move. He waits, arms behind his back, gaze steady. When Valira reaches him, she stumbles to a stop and the words burst out of her, cracked with emotion. "I did it. I brought it back. The Etherheart fruit. Mom will live." Her voice breaks, and then for the first time since leaving the capital, Valira's composure shatters. She throws herself into her father's arms. Tears stream down her face. Her voice comes out muffled, pressed against his chest. "We made it to 5th, thanks to Alex." Chapter 234-236. Ashedge Clan Leader Velkane. Chapter 234. Chapter 236. Ashedge Clan Leader Velkane. The man finally moves. His arms close around her, firm, protective, steady as stone. He holds her tightly, one hand gently pressing the back of her head. "You did more than I ever asked of you," he says softly. His voice, unlike his appearance, is quiet. Warm. "You've brought honor to our name. You've brought hope to your mother. And you've made me proud. Beyond words." Valira sobs, shoulders shaking. Gressrin and Salvin dismount in silence, watching the scene with softened expressions. Carnessa looks down, her grip on the reins tightening slightly, something unreadable flickering behind her eyes. Alex watches as well, quiet and still. The man lifts his head, looking past his daughter. His gaze finds Alex. He studies Alex for a long moment. Then with calm steps he releases Valira gently and walks down the few remaining stairs until he stands before him. Eye to eye. "You must be Alex," the man says, voice rich with weight and age. "I've heard your name more than 100 times since word reached us. But seeing you now, I understand." He pauses, eyes narrowing slightly, not with suspicion but with appraisal. "I can feel it. There's something extraordinary about you. Not just strength. Something deeper." Alex meets his gaze without flinching. "And you must be Valira's father." A faint smile touches the man's lips. "Velkane Ashedge, clan leader, and a very grateful father." He turns slightly, motioning to the open doors behind him. "Come inside, all of you. We've prepared a feast. The entire estate will celebrate tonight. For Valira's return. And for the one who made it possible." He looks to Alex again. "You especially, Alex. You're our honored guest now." Valira wipes the last of her tears, still sniffling but smiling. "Come on," she says quietly to Alex. "You've earned it." The grand doors of the Ashedge estate swing open with a deep resonant creak, revealing a hall bathed in warm golden light. Inside, the scent of roasted meats, fresh herbs, and sweet fruits fills the air. Long banquet tables stretch across the stone floor, covered with platters piled high. Smoked boar, seared riverfish, glazed root cakes, mountain grapes, golden rolls dripping with butter. A band of minstrels plays near the far wall, their stringed instruments weaving cheerful melodies over the soft hum of celebration. Servants move like clockwork through the room, pouring wine, lighting candles, and offering trays to the guests as the heroes enter. The hall erupts in cheers again when Valira steps inside. People raise their cups and toast her name. But Alex barely glances at the crowd. His eyes scan the room once. Carnessa pauses just inside the doorway, her eyes wide. She stares at the tables, at the mountains of food. More than she's ever seen in one place. Roasted vegetables glisten with oil. Baskets of fresh bread steam under embroidered cloths. Silver trays of fruit and desserts gleam beneath the chandelier light. She doesn't move. Alex steps beside her, his voice quiet. "Go on." She doesn't answer. Her fingers clutch each other tightly in front of her. "I know that look," he says. Alex tilts his head, then simply adds, "Eat all you want, Carnessa." Her lips part slightly, but the words don't come. Slowly, cautiously, she steps forward. She takes a small roll from a basket, then another. Then she moves on to the sliced meat, picking just a few pieces, glancing around like someone might yell at her. No one does. Alex watches her for a moment longer, then walks toward a quieter corner of the hall and leans against a pillar, arms folded. Valira finds him not long after, slipping away from a small crowd of well-wishers with a faint sigh and a half-drunk goblet in hand. Her steps are quick but quiet, and when she reaches him she leans against the opposite side of the pillar with a tired smile. "Why are you hiding over here?" she asks, tilting her head. Alex's eyes flick to her, then return to the revelry. "Loud and crowded places aren't really my thing." Valira chuckles softly. "Same." She takes a slow sip of her drink. "I'm so tired of talking to people." Smiling, nodding, saying the same 3 lines over and over. "Yes, we made it to 5th. Yes, we got the fruit. No, I didn't lose a limb." Alex huffs lightly through his nose. "Sounds exhausting." "It is." She lets her head rest briefly against the stone. "Honestly, I just wanted to sit down with a bowl of soup and sleep for a week." A moment of silence settles between them. Calm, comfortable. Then Valira speaks again, quieter this time. "My mom. She said she wants to thank you personally. Tomorrow, after she's stable enough to see visitors." Alex nods. "It's fine. I don't mind." Valira turns her eyes toward him. "She really means it. You saved her life, Alex. If we were even a day late," the healers said. Her voice trails off. "I know." She takes a breath, then offers him a small, grateful smile. "Also, your reward. My father. He'll talk to you tomorrow. Ask what you want." Alex raises a brow slightly. "And if I say I don't want anything?" Valira shrugs. "Then he'll still give you something anyway. That's how he is." Alex leans back a little thoughtful. "I'll think about it." Valira smirks. "You should. It's not every day you get offered a reward by one of the strongest clans in the continent." He gives a faint nod, and for a few seconds they just stand there, away from the clamor and music, sharing a brief moment of quiet in the heart of celebration. The next morning, light pours gently through the tall windows of the guest chamber. The silk curtains shift with the breeze rustling softly. Alex opens his eyes. He's alone. The silence is noticeable. No breathing beside him, no presence in the room. Carnessa has been given her own quarters. He sits up slowly, the sheets cool against his skin. For a moment he just breathes. Then he stands and walks barefoot toward the balcony. Beyond the carved archway, iron veil stretches out beneath him. Sunlight gilding rooftops, smoke curling from chimneys, guards marching along ruin-lined walls. It's peaceful. But Alex's expression is unreadable. His eyes scan the horizon past the outer walls toward the distant mountains, and beyond them the unseen territories. His army is moving. Fortresses are falling. He doesn't need to give direct orders, the system moves with purpose, with logic. With inevitability. He exhales through his nose. The Ashedge clan has treated him well. Generously. With honor. But if they stand in the way, he doesn't finish the thought. He doesn't need to. If they block his conquest, then like everything else, they'll burn. Suddenly a soft knock breaks the stillness. Tap tap. Alex turns his head slightly. "Come in." The door opens partway and a young maid peeks through. She bows quickly. "Good morning, Sir Alex. The clan leader is requesting your presence. He's waiting in his working chamber." Alex nods once. "Understood." The maid bows again, then gently closes the door. Alex makes his way through the quiet halls of the estate, the morning sunlight streaming through tall, arched windows. The stone underfoot is warm from the early sun, and the servants bow as he passes, whispering his name behind cupped hands. No one stops him. When he reaches the east wing, 2 guards stationed outside a tall wooden door step aside wordlessly. One of them opens it for him. Inside is a wide chamber, less formal than a throne room but still commanding in its presence. Bookshelves line the walls filled with thick tomes and old scrolls. Weapons of different eras are displayed behind enchanted glass. At the center, a wide desk of dark wood sits beside a massive window overlooking a garden pond. Velkane is already there. He stands beside the open window, a simple mug in hand, dressed not in ceremonial garb but in a black sleeveless tunic and bracers. His scars and gray threaded muscles fully visible in the morning light. He turns when he hears the door close behind Alex. Velkane gestures casually toward one of the chairs by the desk. "Sit down, Alex." Alex steps forward and lowers himself into the seat without a word. Velkane sets his mug down, then rests both hands on the edge of the desk. His eyes settle on Alex with that same quiet, weighty gaze from the night before. So he begins, "Tell me. What do you want? As long as it's within the ability of my Ashedge clan, I'll see it done." Chapter 235-237. The Smith-Zanson. Chapter 235. Chapter 237. The Smith-Zanson. Alex's voice is calm, unhurried. "To tell you the truth, I don't really need anything." Velkane raises a brow slightly. "No?" Alex leans back slightly in the chair, resting an arm along the side. "Valira told me there's someone in Ironvale. A smith. She said he's capable of forging a quasi-tier 6 weapon." Velkane exhales through his nose. "So that's what you're after." He gives a short nod. "Are you planning to request something from him?" "Yeah." Velkane chuckles. "I thought so. Well, you're not wrong, he's a rare talent. One of the finest craftsmen I've ever met. But I'll be honest with you, Alex. He's not part of the clan. Alex's gaze doesn't change. That a problem? Not exactly, Velkane says with a shrug. But it means I can't order him around. Believe me, we've tried. We've offered him land titles, a seat on the council. Man just shrugged and told us he doesn't to join any forces. Yet he's still here. He is, Velkane confirms. Been living quietly in my territory for the past decade. Says he likes the mountains. Helps us out when he feels like it, though he's never succeeded in forging a true tier 6. Always stops just short. Says something's missing. He waves a hand. I'm rambling now. Point is, you can meet him if you want. I'll send someone to take you to his forge. There's a short pause, then Velkane leans forward slightly, his tone turning sincere. But let me ask you again. You really don't want anything else? No favor? No wealth? No name, no title? You saved my wife's life. That's not something we forget. Alex simply shakes his head once. I'm good. Velkane studies him for a beat longer. Then slowly he nods. Then at least take this. He reaches into a drawer and produces a small polished token. It's obsidian black, shaped like a fong and engraved with the ash edge sigil in bright crimson. He places it gently on the desk between them. This marks you as an honored guest of the Ash Edge clan, Velkane says. Wherever you go in our territory, this will speak for you. Soldiers, merchants, they'll treat you like a VIP. You may not want a reward, but this is respect. And I insist. Alex looks at the token for a moment. Then he reaches forward and picks it up. I'll take it. Velkane gives a slow, satisfied nod. Good. Then we'll leave it at that. He straightens and steps back toward the window, folding his arms behind him. I'll have someone escort you to his place. If anyone can craft what you're looking for, it's him. Alex rises from the chair and tucks the token into a hidden pocket inside his coat. Then he looks at Velkane with a calm, even tone. Can I go there alone? Just tell me where to find him. Velkane pauses, eyeing Alex for a moment. Then nods. I figured you'd ask that. He steps over to a nearby shelf, pulls out a rolled parchment and quickly sketches a rough map across the back of it with a bit of charcoal. His lines are clean, practiced. He lives up in the Hollowspine Range, Velkane says, tapping a point on the map. Take the east road out of Ironvale until it forks at the old mill. You'll want the narrower trail, don't get fooled by the wider one. Climb about 2 hours. You'll see a stone arch and a burned-out oak. His forge is built right into the cliffside just past it. Alex studies the map, then nods once. Velkane exhales and leans an arm against the desk. His name's Zanson. And just a warning. He's not the friendliest man alive. Grumpy old bastard, speaks like he's chewing rocks. But if he likes you, he'll talk. Good enough, Alex says. Velkane gives a dry chuckle. He doesn't care about status or favors. Doesn't even care that I'm a clan leader. You show up with sincerity or skill, he'll hear you out. Alex turns toward the door. I'll head out now. Velkane nods once. Then I'll leave it to you. Alex follows the winding mountain path for nearly 2 hours, the air growing thinner and cooler as he climbs. When he reaches the burned-out oak and steps through the stone arch, the world opens onto a narrow ledge carved into the cliffside. Before him is a simple wooden door set into the rock, blackened at the edges by flame with no sign or banner to mark it. A single iron ring hangs where a handle would be. Alex gives it a firm twist and steps inside. The forge is surprisingly modest. A single hearth burns low embers glowing beneath a heavy bellows. Tools, hammers, tongs, files, hang from rough wooden pegs on stone walls streaked with soot. A wide worktable stands to one side, covered in metal scraps, folded scrolls of design sketches, and a half-finished blade that flickers with faint runic lines. A man sits on a low stool beside the hearth, back turned. His broad shoulders are draped in a leather apron, hair tied into a short grizzled braid. The rhythm of his hammer on anvil is slow, deliberate. Alex clears his throat. The smith's hammer pauses. He turns and Alex sees a face lined by years of flame and metal. Dark eyes that burn with intensity. Zanson? Alex asks. Zanson's brow furrows in confusion. He sets his hammer aside and folds his arms, eyeing Alex with suspicion. Kid, he says, voice low and rough, how did you find this place? Did the Ash Edge clan make my location public? He tsks, shaking his head. Leave, kid. I'm busy right now. Alex doesn't flinch. He reaches into his coat and pulls out the obsidian token Velkane gave him, holding it out by the edge. They didn't make your location public, Alex says evenly. I'm here because I requested to see you. Zanson's eyes narrow as he recognizes the sigil. He leans forward, studying the token, then laughs softly. Oh, he mutters. That's quite impressive. You have their honored guest token. He straightens and gives Alex a sharp look. Kid, if you want to request I forge you something, you're out of luck. I'm busy right now. Come back next week. Alex's gaze is unwavering. I'm not here to request. He steps closer to the hearth's glow. What if I told you I can help you forge a Tier 6 weapon? Zanson freezes, his eyes widening for the first time. Then abruptly he throws back his head and laughs. Loud booming, as if Alex has just recited the world's greatest joke. Ha! You? Help me? Forge a Tier 6? He shakes his head, still chuckling. You've got balls, kid. I'll give you that. In an instant, a heavy tome shimmers into existence in Alex's hand, pages fanning open on their own. The sudden crackle of arcane energy makes Zanson's eyes snap wide, and he stumbles backward, the laughter dying in his throat. Alex holds the book aloft, leather binding embossed with a single rune. This, he says, voice calm, and even is a Tier 6 smithing technique. Zanson's dark eyes burn with sudden greed as he leans forward, but the moment he does, a wave of pressure slams into him. Cold, merciless, undeniable. His breath catches. He glances at Alex, then gulps. That can't be, Zanson mutters, voice trembling. Your presence. It's like standing before Velcane himself. His lips part in shock. You're not just a kid. Alex steps forward, the air seeming to stiffen around him. Now he says softly, are you ready to talk? Zanson swallows, eyes darting between the book and Alex's unyielding gaze. With a slow nod, the smith straightens his apron. All right, he rasps. Let's talk. Zanson wipes sweat from his brow and motions toward a battered stool. Well, what do you want? Alex steps into the hearth's glow. Just as I said outside. I can help you forge a true Tier 6 weapon, but on one condition. Zanson's dark eyes narrow. Name it. Alex meets his gaze evenly. You join my kingdom. Your skill would be invaluable to me. And in return, I'll ensure you have every resource you need. For a long moment, Zanson is silent. Hammer in hand, brow furrowed in thought. Finally, he sets the tool aside and shakes his head. You know, I told myself never to join any force. I work alone. He gestures to the half-finished blade on the table. Without help, with only the Tier 5 technique I found when I was young, I managed to forge that. He taps the runic glow, a quasi-Tier 6 weapon. I've been doing fine on my own. Chapter 236-238. The Blacksmith, Zanson. Chapter 236. Chapter 238. The Blacksmith, Zanson. Alex inclines his head. Until now. Zanson turns away, staring into the embers of the forge. He breathes in the heat, then out with a slow sigh. Damn you, kid. You make it sound so easy. He glances back, eyes hard. But if you truly have the means to take me the rest of the way, if you can give me access to the materials, all the knowledge I've been missing, then maybe it's worth it. Alex offers a faint smile. I'll send my best resources. You'll never want for or runes or recipes again. Zanson's lip quirks into a grudging grin. Fine. I'll join your kingdom. But don't think I owe you loyalty beyond my craft. Alex nods. Understood. Zanson grunts and scratches at his beard. So then, what's the name of this mysterious kingdom of yours, your majesty? He says it with a half-scoff, half-smirk. You know, he continues, tossing another log into the hearth, I've been around. Pretty familiar with all the kingdoms on this continent. Never heard of one with a brat like you on the throne. Alex's face remains still. Calm. Almost too calm. That's because, he says quietly, my kingdom isn't in this continent. Zanson pauses mid-motion, staring at him with a raised brow. What's that supposed to mean? Alex says nothing at first. Instead, he closes his eyes for a brief second, and the air ripples around him. A faint shimmer runs across his body. The subtle illusion fades. The smooth skin of a human melts away to reveal faint scaled ridges along his jawline. His eyes shift, irises glowing like molten lava, pupils thin and vertical. A quiet, inhuman stillness replaces the air he once carried. The disguise is gone. Zanson stares, mouth slightly open. He slowly takes a step back, hand instinctively drifting toward the hilt of a tool at his belt, but he doesn't draw it. You're not human, he mutters, voice hoarse. Alex's gaze doesn't waver. No, I'm not. Zanson's throat works in a slow swallow. The firelight flickers over his face, casting shadows that deepen the lines of age and hard-earned solitude. Then Alex says calmly, aren't you the same? Zanson stiffens. His eyes narrow. What did you just say? I know you're not fully human, Alex says, voice quiet but certain. You're half monster. For a moment, the only sound is the crackle of the forge. Then slowly, too slowly, Zanson's expression twists. His skin pales and a cold sweat beads on his brow. A subtle tremor creeps down his spine. How do you know that? He says low. I'm very careful about my identity. Alex shrugs lightly, his tone still calm. It doesn't matter how I know. Let's just say I have a way of seeing things others can't. Zanson stares at him for a long, tense moment, the fire's glow flickering in his eyes. Then finally he lets out a long sigh and lowers his gaze. Well, he mutters, I guess there's no point hiding it now. He glances up at Alex, a reluctant smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. I'm half monster. My father was one. Don't know what kind exactly. My mother never told me. Every time I asked, she'd just go silent or get angry. said it didn't matter. Alex watches him quietly, his eyes calm. I only know he wasn't human, Zanson said. Alex tilts his head slightly, eyes steady. Well, this is the first time I've seen a human and monster offspring. Zanson exhales, running a hand down his face. Yeah. That's because it's not normal. Zanson stares into the fire, his voice low and rough. Most humans don't even believe it's possible. But it is. Rare as hell, and even rarer that the child survives. I guess I got lucky. Alex narrows his eyes slightly. I'm just surprised you don't have any monster traits. Zanson lets out a dry snort. Oh, I do. Especially the strength. It's way beyond what any Tier 5 blacksmith should have. He pauses, then pulls back his shirt collar, slightly revealing a patch of dark iridescent scales along his shoulder and collarbone. These cover most of my torso. Arms, legs too. I file the ones on my hands to keep them from drawing attention. Alex studies the scales, nodding. Resembles a scale. Maybe something reptilian in your bloodline. Zanson grunts. Maybe. I don't know. My mother never told me what he was. Just said that I shouldn't go looking. Alex crosses his arms and leans slightly against the worktable, eyes still locked on the faint shimmer of scales beneath Zanson's collar. So that's why you've been hiding, he says quietly. Even with your skill. No one knows your name. No one even knows you're capable of forging quasi-tier 6 weapons. Zanson snorts under his breath. You're right. He turns, grabbing a pair of tongs from the hearth, though he doesn't use them. Just holds them in his hands as if to ground himself. The only person I ever trusted with that truth is Velkane, he mutters. He exhales slowly. I've seen what happens when people like me get noticed. It's never good. If they find out what I am, what I can do, they either try to chain it, use it, or erase it. Zanson lets the tongs rest on the worktable with a heavy clink, his shoulders relaxing ever so slightly. I'll come to you once I finish this blade for Velkane, he says, voice quieter now, almost reluctant. Though truth be told, it'll probably end up another damn quasi-tier 6. I'm close, but something always slips through my fingers. Alex nods. All right. Just find me in the city when you're done. As he says this, the air hums softly around him. In an instant, the same Tier 6 smithing technique that materialized earlier reappears in his hand. Floating just above his palm, glowing faintly with arcane energy. Alex steps forward and holds it out. Use this. It might help you succeed this time. Zanson's eyes widen slightly as he stares at the technique. His breath catches. Are you serious? He asks, voice rough. You're just giving this to me? Alex's expression remains steady. You're part of my kingdom now, Zanson. That means you're one of my people. And I take care of my people. Zanson doesn't take the technique right away. He just looks at it, then at Alex. But there isn't one. After a long pause, he slowly reaches out and takes it. The technique's energy flickers as it touches his hand, as if responding to his presence. He stares at it for a moment, almost reverent. Damn, he mutters. This is the real thing. Alex turns toward the door. When you're done with Velkane's weapon, come find me. I'll be waiting. Zanson glances at him, then down at the glowing technique in his hand. For the first time in a long while, he says slowly, I think I might actually pull it off. Alex glances back over his shoulder, a faint glimmer in his golden eyes. I know you will. After that, Alex leaves Zanson's forge without another word. The mountain air greets him outside, cool and quiet. He descends the narrow trail alone, the wind tugging gently at his coat. He doesn't look back. Over the next few days, Alex spends nearly all his time with Carnessa. They train in quiet clearings just outside the city, often by moonlight. Alex teaches her how to better control her innate bloodline ability, how to feel the blood around her, not just within herself, how to sense it, manipulate it, and eventually command it. Each lesson is slow and deliberate, but Carnessa absorbs everything like dry earth drinking rain. Good, Alex says one evening, watching as crimson threads coil from her fingertips into the dirt, controlled and precise. You're not forcing it anymore. Carnessa pants softly, sweat glistening on her brow. I can feel everything now. The pulse in the insects, even birds overhead. Alex nods. You're adapting faster than I expected. He's not exaggerating. In just a matter of days, Carnessa has advanced to high-level Tier 3. Her aura is denser. Her movements sharper. Even the way she looks at people now. There's focus in her eyes that wasn't there before. At night, Alex give her blood-based skills. Each one suit her innate ability. And each time he does, her control improves. Thank you, she says one afternoon, wiping her palms clean after training. I'll do my best to get stronger as soon as possible. Chapter 237-239. Leaving the Ash Edge clan. Alex stands across from her, arms crossed, golden eyes calm but measuring. Then after a pause, he speaks. I might have a way to get you stronger. Faster. Carnessa straightens, her expression alert. Oh? She steps closer, her voice eager. What is it, master? Alex just smirks faintly. You'll know soon. Before Carnessa can press him, he turns away, already walking back toward the city. By the time they return to the manor, the sun is already low, casting warm orange light through the garden walls. As they step into the corridor, the sound of hurried footsteps echoes ahead. Alex! Valira rushes around the corner, eyes wide with urgency. She stops in front of him, breathing slightly fast, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. I finally found you. Alex tilts his head. Why? What happened? That blacksmith I told you about. Alex nods slowly, his tone calm. Yeah. What about him? Valira leans in. He came over today. Spoke with my father. He said he succeeded. He forged a tier 6 weapon. Alex's eyes narrow slightly, though he doesn't show much surprise. So, Zanson finally pulled it off. With the technique I gave him, it was only a matter of time. And? He asks. Valira folds her arms. Well, no one else knows. Just me, father. And now you. Alex lets out a short breath through his nose, a faint smile tugging at the edge of his lips. That's great news, he says calmly. Your clan now has 2 tier 6 weapons. Valira nods, though her expression is thoughtful, troubled even. Yep. In these past few days, everything's been going great, actually. Too great. Alex asked. Is that a problem? She hesitates. It just feels like the calm before something bad. You know? Like we're being set up for a fall. Alex glances at her, then shakes his head slowly. Don't think about it. You'll lose your edge waiting for something that may never come. Valira exhales, then nods. Right? Alex's tone shifts slightly as he asks, by the way, is your clan planning to fight the invading monsters? Valira stiffens, then nods again. More firmly this time. We don't really have a choice. The monsters from the other continent are getting worse. Stronger. Bolder. Even with some of the Empire's subordinate forces joining the war, they've only managed to slow the advance. Her voice drops slightly. Not stop it. She continues, since our clan is one of the Empire's subordinate houses, we have to join. My father's already preparing deployment orders. Alex's eyes narrow, a touch thoughtful. So, my forces can't advance anymore. They're being held back by the Empire's main line. But, he exhales internally. Since they haven't called me, it means things are still under control. For now. Alex turns his gaze out the window, eyes thoughtful. I guess it's time I return. And start my summoning spree. Alex shifts his gaze back to Valira, his voice calm but resolute. Valira will be leaving tonight. Valira's expression falters. Her smile fades, and though she tries to keep her composure, the sadness in her eyes is clear. I see. She lowers her gaze, brushing a lock of hair behind her ear before speaking again, softer this time. You don't really want to join my clan, do you? Alex doesn't answer. He doesn't need to. Valira looks up at him again. Eyes searching, voice just a little shakier. I thought maybe you would. After everything. Still Alex remains silent, but the look in his eyes isn't cold. Just steady. Valira lets out a quiet breath, then forces a small smile. Well, thank you. For everything you've done. She glances toward the hall. Let me tell my father at least. So we can see you off. My mother's... Well, she's busy trying to break through to tier 5. She's been locked in for days. Alex gently shakes his head. Don't bother. Valira blinks. Why? Alex's voice is low but final. Because I'm going now. Valira opens her mouth slightly as if to protest but stops herself. Her shoulders drop a little. I understand. Then Valira straightens, eyes flicking up to meet his. Be careful, Alex. Alex nods once. You too. He turns, cloak brushing against the floor as he walks past her. Down the corridor and out into the fading light. Valira watches him go, her chest tight. I hope you come back someday, she whispers, though she knows he won't hear it. Inside a modest restaurant tucked along the quieter end of the city's main street, Alex sits at a table by the window. The place is calm, filled with the soft murmur of conversations and the occasional clatter of bowls and cutlery. Carnessa sits across from him, sipping quietly from a steaming cup, her eyes flicking to the door every now and then. Then the door opens, and in walks Zanson, brushing ash from his coat, a grin tugging at his scarred face. Sorry for the wait, he says, stepping over to them. That damn Velcane just wouldn't let me go. Kept giving me supplies, tools, enchantment manuals, you name it. Alex chuckles, lightly resting his hand on the table. It's probably a good thing I didn't run into him before leaving. I might still be stuck there. Zanson pulls out a chair and sits leaning back with a grunt. No kidding. Alex looks at him steadily. You good now? We'll be leaving right after this. Zanson doesn't answer right away. Instead, he turns his head, gazing out the window. The city outside is bathed in warm amber light, the streets bustling with people. Humans and Thier monster slaves side by side. No one's shouting. No one's chained. Laughter carries on the breeze. You know, Zanson says slowly, the city's like a damn paradise compared to the rest of the continent. He rests his arms on the table. Even the monster slaves here. They're not being treated like animals. Back in most places you're lucky if they let you sleep indoors. Alex nods slightly. I saw it while roaming around. Zanson gives a half-smile. Tired but genuine. I'm gonna miss it. Never thought I would. But I will. Alex pushes back his chair. Then let's not drag this out. Carnessa stands as well, brushing dust from her cloak. She looks between the two of them. Outside, the last light of the day is fading behind the hills. The three of them step into the twilight, leaving behind the warm glow of the restaurant, the clink of cups, and the soft chatter. None of them look back. Inside one of Alex's sleek floating carriages, the gentle hum of enchanted propulsion fills the quiet air. The interior is spacious, lined with dark wood and subtle gold inlays, with cushioned seats facing each other. Outside the window, the last traces of city light fade as they ascend into the open sky. Carnessa sits beside Alex, her eyes fixed on the glowing skyline, but her mind clearly elsewhere. After a moment she speaks, voice soft but certain. Master, I've been dying to ask this. Alex glances at her. Who are you really? She continues. Are you some kind of emperor? Alex exhales, not surprised. I suppose I never told you, he says. I'm a king. Of a monster kingdom across the sea in the other continent. Carnessa blinks, her eyes narrowing slightly as she processes it. Her gaze drops, thoughtful. The silence stretches until she speaks again, more hesitantly this time. Master, those monsters that have been invading this continent. The ones the Empire is fighting, are you? She doesn't finish. Alex looks forward, his tone flat. I am their king. They're my soldiers. Carnessa stiffens, the realization hitting harder than expected. Across from them, Zanson, who had been leaning back with his arms crossed, slowly turns his head to look at Alex. He stares, eyes wide with disbelief. Are you serious? Zanson says finally. You could have mentioned that earlier. Alex shrugs slightly. If I told you, it might scared you off. You might not have wanted to join my kingdom. Zanson lets out a sharp breath, rubbing his face. You think? He leans forward now, voice low and cautious. Are you confident about going against the Empire? Alex's voice doesn't waver. If I wanted to, I could destroy the Empire right now. Zanson stares at him. He's not joking. There's no boast in his tone. No exaggeration. Just quiet certainty. Then he adds, what about the Ashedge clan? They're decent people. Alex's expression cools. As long as they surrender, I won't do anything to them. Chapter 238-240. The smithing building. The floating carriage descends steadily through the cloud-dappled twilight, the golden spires of Clago City, capital of the Menash Kingdom, coming into full view. The city below is no longer human-led. The banners of Menash are gone, replaced with a flag bearing Alex's crest. As the carriage approaches the main gate, the soft hum of magic fades. Below, rows upon rows of monster soldiers, disciplined and fully armored, stand at attention on either side of the wide plaza, forming a corridor of reverent silence. The moment the carriage touches down, a visible wave of tension lifts. Then three figures step forward from the front ranks and drop to one knee in unison. Gander speaks first, head bowed. Welcome back, Your Majesty. Beside him, Mazel, massive and looming even while kneeling, lowers his axes with respect. On Gander's other side, Lysaria kneels gracefully. Her violet eyes flick up, briefly gleaming with quiet approval. Behind, Alex, Carnessa, and Zanson exit the carriage. The sight before them stuns them into silence. Hundreds, no thousands, of monsters in organized formation. Tiered armor gleams under the setting sun. None of them look ragged or wild. These aren't berserk beasts. These are soldiers. Zanson mutters under his breath. Holy hell. Carnessa doesn't speak. Her wide eyes are fixed on the three kneeling monsters in front. Power radiates off all of them. She can feel it in her blood. These people serve master? The three stand in sync. Gander salutes with a closed fist to his chest. Orders, sire? Alex walks forward calmly, the golden sunset casting his shadow long across the polished stone beneath his boots. He glances briefly to the side, at Carnessa, who's still quietly taking in the sight of the vast army and the monsters kneeling before him. I'm just passing by here, he says, voice casual. But before that, he gestures slightly with his hand toward Carnessa. This is Carnessa. She's very talented, and has an innate ability to control blood. Lysaria's head tilts, a flicker of interest passing through her gaze. Innate ability? She repeats, a smile forming at the corner of her lips. That's amazing, Your Majesty. Your adventure this time seems very fruitful. Congratulations. Mazel, however, steps forward with a gleam in his eyes, grinning from ear to ear. Blood, huh? That's got combat written all over it. He thumps one of his axes against the ground. Your Majesty, let me train her. I swear the next time you see her she'll be a completely different person. Carnessa's eyes widen slightly at the offer, unsure if she should feel honored or afraid. Alex looks to her briefly, then back to Mazel. Then he'll leave it to you. Mazel grins wider and pounds his chest once. Thank you, Your Majesty. Gander as always remains composed, though he glances at Carnessa with a flicker of analytical interest, already assessing her potential as part of the king's inner circle. Xansen crosses his arms beside her, still stunned by everything but keeping quiet for now. Alex turns back toward the heart of the city, his voice steady. Let's head inside. I want a full report. The monster commanders fall into step behind him at once, with Carnessa and Xansen trailing just a bit farther back. Still overwhelmed by the scale and gravity of what they've just walked into, Carnessa watches Alex's back again, heart pounding. And for the first time, she realizes just how far above her he truly stands. Alex stays only for a few hours in Clago City, just enough to hear the latest reports, issue orders, and speak privately with his commanders. When everything is settled, he steps toward the portal chamber, motioning for Xansen to follow. Carnessa watches them go, a strange mix of awe and determination in her chest as Mazel cracks his knuckles beside her. Then, light bends inward as the teleportation gate activates. A deep hum resonates through the air, and with a single step Alex and Xansen vanish from Clago City. In the next instant they arrive at Noctaris. A blast of cool fresh air greets them, carried by powerful winds that swirl between massive floating islands suspended in the sky by ancient humming cores. Vast crystalline towers rise like spears of light, some wrapped with vines of bioluminescent flora, while bridges made of translucent stone arc between sky islands, each bustling with activity. Below, the city sprawls across tiered cliffs, rivers of silver light flowing through channels in the streets. Towering spires stretch into the sky. Xansen's jaw drops the second he takes a step forward. Is this your capital city? He asks, blinking rapidly. Look at that. Look at that. Floating islands? How is that even possible? He spins slowly, trying to take everything in. His usual casual posture replaced with quiet awe. This makes the imperial capital look like a backwater village. Alex doesn't respond right away. He just walks forward, the black and gold hem of his coat fluttering slightly in the breeze. Then he glances over his shoulder. You'll have plenty of time to explore the city. Xansen snaps out of his daze, straightening instinctively. His voice is quieter now, more respectful. Yeah, right. Of course. Alex nods, once satisfied. For now, we'll head to the smithing building. Xansen furrows his brow. The smithing building? A knowing smirk plays on Alex's lips. You'll be even more surprised by what you see there. They walk across a radiant skybridge, the glowing veins beneath their feet pulsing in rhythm with the city's mana. Xansen stays a step behind now, not because he's told to, but because he understands. He's no longer walking beside just a man. He's walking behind a king. Alex and Xansen cross a bridge of silver steel, its surface humming faintly beneath their steps. The entrance to the smithing building looms ahead, an obsidian archway reinforced with glowing red runes. Heat pulses gently from inside, along with the rhythmic ring of metal on metal. As the doors part, Xansen instinctively squints against the sudden wash of light and heat. Then his eyes widen. The interior is massive. Multiple levels of forges, anvil stations, suspended platforms powered by levitation glyphs, and an array of unfamiliar devices scattered across workbenches. Some hiss with steam. Others hum with magic or crackle faintly with lightning. Tools that Xansen has never seen before glow in neatly organized racks. Molten metals are suspended midair, shaped by force fields alone. And there, at the center of it all, commanding the space like a warlord in a battlefield, is Brumak. The massive minotaur-like blacksmith roars as he brings his hammer down on a length of radiant steel. Sparks erupt like fireworks. His horns gleam beneath the forge light, and his apron is scorched but clean. The mark of Tier 5 glows faintly on the bracer strapped to his arm. As if sensing something, Brumak turns. When he spots Alex, he immediately grins. A deep rumbling sound coming from his chest. Then he drops his hammer with a loud thud and strides forward. Your Majesty! Brumak bows with a heavy fist over his heart. I didn't expect you back so soon. Alex gives him a brief nod. I see you've advanced. Tier 5, huh? Brumak grins wider, showing a row of flat, burnished teeth. Thanks to the blueprint you left behind. And the Tier 5 smithing technique. That thing changed everything. Xansen steps in closer, still gawking. What the hell is this place? Brumak's ears flick, noticing him for the first time. He glances at Alex. A new recruit? He rumbles. Alex nods slightly, then says with calm pride, he's a new recruit, yes. But he's also a Tier 6 blacksmith. Brumak blinks. The realization takes a beat to land. Then his eyes widen. Wait, a Tier 6? He straightens immediately, tone shifting with genuine respect. Well damn. Nice meeting you, sir. We finally have a Tier 6 in our ranks. Xansen chuckles, lightly scratching the back of his neck. You're a talent yourself. I heard you were just Tier 4 a few months ago? Brumak grins at that, clearly pleased. That's true. His Majesty's resources changed everything for us. The two begin talking in earnest, Xansen's curiosity already drawing him to the glowing equipment and Brumak eager to show off the forge's latest innovations. The hum of the machines grows louder behind them as they drift toward the nearest table. Alex watches the exchange for a moment, then turns. "He'll go now," he says simply, his voice cutting cleanly through the air. "Zanson. Brumac. I still have things to take care of." Brumac straightens immediately and bows. "Of course, Your Majesty." Zanson pauses mid-step, then turns back and nods, more respectful now than ever. "Thanks for bringing me here. Really." If you want access to fast updates or the full novel in high-quality audio, contact me now and buy. I offer over 300 complete audiobooks from Pocket FM, Webnovel, Audible, and more. No locked episodes, no subscriptions, just one-time payment via PayPal or Ko-fi. Message me directly on Telegram or WhatsApp, or check out the full list of available novels on Discord. Start listening to your next favorite audiobook today.